A few years ago, you had to know somebody to find out somebody to do your taxes. It was like a secret society. What I found out was they was just only doing tax returns. Problem with that business model is it's capped.
Yeah. You figured, all right, if I could find a system, I don't want to do the work. Let the system do the work.
It turned really good. I made $235,000 my first year.
Wow. So you could scale a system, but you can't really scale yourself.
You're afraid of what other people thinking about when they see you. So now you're thinking about you when you're supposed to be thinking about how you can help other people. You're being selfish. Stop caring about what other people think.
The best way to make money online is to teach something you really know.
I had my first child at 15 while I was still in high school. Then I went to the Army. I got out the Army within 2 months because I could not pass the PT test. Got into the workforce. Kept getting fired for like 3 years. I was horrible. I'm country, right? I was self-conscious about that. I cut on that care for people, immediately fell in love.
Do you get any like blowback from people being a woman, being so young?
Not anymore because I built authority. It turned out okay.
Wait. I know you want to watch this next video, but listen, if you are an entrepreneur, business coach, business consultant, or a small business owner who has a story and wants to learn how to create multiple streams of income from your story, I need you to text me right now, my book, to 646-687-4152. That is my personal number. I have been an author for over 12 years. I've written 10 books. 4 of them have been bestsellers, and I've sold over 100,000 books. But I've also helped a lot of my clients take their expertise and put it into a story, then create multiple streams of income from that. So I want to help you do the same thing. So text my book to 646-687-4152. All right, let's go back to the video.
So welcome to another awesome episode of Inside the Vault with Ash Cash, the greatest money mindset show on the planet. Listen, most people think that taxes are just something you survive once a year. But what if I told you that there's a 26-year-old multi-millionaire who turned tax season into a multi-million-dollar empire and didn't just stop at preparing taxes, she built CEOs. See, most tax preparers stay stuck trading time for refunds, but today's guest figured out how to turn tax knowledge into teams, service bureaus, software, mentorship programs, and over $5 million generated before most people even find their lane. She didn't just make money in taxes, she made money teaching people how to own the system. The real question is, what does she understand about leverage, licensing, and leadership that most entrepreneurs completely miss? If you've ever thought about starting a tax business, scaling one, or turning seasonal income into year-round wealth, you need to hear this entire conversation, because by the end of this episode, you won't see tax season the way you've ever seen it again. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for Miss Kyla Brown.
What's up, Ash?
What's going on? What's going on?
Oh.
Look, I'm excited for this episode because I love to see that people get into it, but especially young people.
Yeah.
I remember when I was 26, I wasn't even thinking about millions. Like I didn't start thinking about becoming a millionaire until like in my 30s, right?
Yeah.
And so for somebody so young, but you got an old soul though, I'm gonna tell you that though. Like even though you're 26, you got an old soul. So I think you've been here before, and I think you was here before, and you said, yo, when I come back, I'm coming back, and I'm
playing with them.
I'm getting everything.
Right.
Yeah. But for those, but like I had a lot of questions, right? But you know, I want to start with, for those who may not know, who is Kyla Brown?
Right. So my name is Kyla Brown. I am a young entrepreneur, mentor, coach, and friend to a lot of people in the online space that's just trying to build a life that they should be proud of and their kids should be proud of. I help people start businesses, specifically tax businesses, and just leverage it, leverage the knowledge that they use and gain to build other products beyond the tax industry and make a whole lot of money.
All right. So multi-millionaire, made over $5 million. You're 26 years old. You're not even 30 yet. how'd you get into the tax business to begin with? And how does it feel like being so young but making so much money?
Right. Okay. So the first question, how did I get into the tax industry? I was working a 9 to 5 at first, and I could not hold a job. Like they kept firing me, and I wasn't even quitting. They was just firing me because I was not doing what they wanted me to do. So I got fired for the last time, and then it was during COVID, so I was able to like get unemployment. So now, cool. I'm at home. I'm getting money. I can actually focus on finding out something, find out a way to make money. I'm seeing at this time a lot of entrepreneurs online and they living a life. I don't know if that was flexing or not, but it looked good and looked like something I wanted to do. So I'm just scrolling and I see somebody talking about the tax industry and I didn't know that it was lucrative at that point. I just thought it was something else to do. So I tapped into it. I tapped into the tax industry my very first year. I was nervous at first. I was like, who finna let me do their taxes?
Right.
Like it was a very uncomfortable and strange industry, but it turned really good. I made a $235,000 my first year.
Wow.
And now being an entrepreneur, and did you say what was the question? Take part.
So first was how do you get into tax business, but making so much money, like how does it feel like making millions of dollars?
Um, Most people would say it feel good, right? And it's okay, it's cool, but every step that I make has to be calculated. Like I can't make one wrong rule. The higher you are, the harder you fall.
Yep.
So then it's like everything got to be strategic. I got to be very careful. I got to be wise and move carefully. So it's a lot to carry, to be honest.
Well, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to ask that, because I think a lot of times people get so fascinated with like, oh, I'm a millionaire, oh, I've made all this money, but they don't realize the responsibility that comes, with making money, with making a lot of money. And even though you decked out, like you probably got thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars in your shoes, your outfit, your chain, your bag, all the watch and all that, right? But one of the things that I admire about you is that you say that you shouldn't take the money that you make from your business and spend it all, right? That you should only take maybe 10 to 30%. The rest of it has to be reinvested in your business.
Right.
Talk a little bit about that concept for me.
Yeah, so that was a big concept for me. I learned early on that you cannot starve your business. If you starve your business, first of all, it's not going to grow.
Yeah.
And then it's eventually going to die.
Yeah.
Your business have to survive off something, and business survives off revenue. It's like the blood for the business. So you have to, the money that the business make, you have to pump it back into the business. Otherwise, it's not going to grow. So I do a lot of investing. I invest in mentors, exposure, ads. I invest in a lot of systems, health, employees. Like my overall business expenses every month is almost $50,000. So,
and that's the thing, right? So if y'all hearing that, right? There's an investment of at minimum 50,000 every single month.
yeah.
Right. And so if anybody does the math, that's $600,000 a year. But that's how you make millions.
Exactly. So they see the 5 million, but they don't see the hundreds of thousands that's getting pumped back into it, and it's really more than that.
Yeah.
Actually, now that I think about it, I do like 50,000 in ads alone. So yeah, it's important, but people are scared to reinvest. They think, okay, I made this money, let me keep it. But what they don't understand is that with a closed fist, nothing can come in and nothing can go out.
Yeah. Where'd you get that mindset though? Like, did you automatically get into business and you just kind of like knew this, or
No.
like, how'd you learn this?
So I found that out when I wasn't growing. I became stagnant. So I was making money, but it stopped eventually. Like, okay, I'm trying to organically get leads and it wasn't working. Like, all right, I done reached my whole timeline. My timeline really tired of hearing this. It's time to go ahead and tap into somewhere else. So I just realized that I wasn't growing, and then it was just me. I needed to get some help. I had to pay for staff. And once I paid for that staff, I was like, so it's the cheat code the whole time. Just put the money back into the business.
Right.
It's going to grow itself.
Right.
Almost.
Right. What did you see like in the tax space that others didn't? Because I almost feel like, like taxes has been around forever, right? Like,
Yes.
I mean, before you was born, before I was born, but somehow you saw something that allowed you to make millions of dollars from it. Like what was that vision you saw? What did you see in the tax business?
Yeah, so the tax industry back in just a few years ago, you had to know somebody to find out somebody to do your taxes.
Yeah.
Like, it was like a secret society. You had to know the tax lady and you had to refer them. I don't know why it was so secretive, but it was.
Yeah.
So what I found out, what they didn't know was, well, what they were doing, they was just only doing tax returns.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, the problem with that business model is it's capped.
Yeah.
Is this how many tax returns depend on how you feeling that day, how tired you are, your mental capacity, how much you can do. So I wanted to find a way that I could make money in the tax industry and not really have to do a tax return. So what I found out was I could share this information, put other people on, buy your software, let them work in the software, and I can get paid from what they doing.
Oh.
Yeah.
So in a way, it was like, you wanted to change your relationship with work, right? Like
Yes.
most people have to work hard for money.
Mm-hmm.
You figured, all right, if I could find a system,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to do the work. Let the system do the work, and then I could. So you could scale a system, but you can't really scale yourself.
Yeah, the tax ladies from back in the day, they thought they was owning a business, but they was owning a job.
Ooh.
Like, you're owning a job because you still got to show up and physically do the work in order for you to get paid.
Yep.
We're not doing it in 2026.
And so you own a software.
Yes, I own the
Yeah,
software. So I'm something that's called a service bureau in the tax industry, okay? It's probably layman terms to you, but in the tax industry, it's called a service bureau. That's when you go to a software company and you purchase a software license. Now, they will white label this software to your brand. So now your brand is on the software. Now you own the software. Now you're learning all of the information about taxes. You're doing taxes. Now you are valuable because you have information. You need to leverage the information that you know and teach it to other people. Now, once you teach them how to become a tax professional, what do they need in order to perform? The software, right? So now you sell them the software. In order for them to use the software, you get a little piece of the pie on the back. And that's what I teach other people. I don't teach them to just do taxes. I teach you to own the software, be a coach, and make money without you having to touch a tax return.
So let me pack this up, right? Because that's genius, and I've seen it work over and over and over again. So I'll give an example for all my entrepreneurs out there who understand, like, you were like funnel, use a funnel. That's what Russell Brunson did, right? So
Exactly.
Russell Brunson created ClickFunnels, right? Him and his partner created ClickFunnels. ClickFunnels was the software,
It's a SaaS.
the SaaS that did the stuff on the back end. And then instead of him teaching about how to use the software, he taught entrepreneurs how to make money, right, through funnels.
Exactly.
And then when people are like, oh my God, I love the funnels, I want to create a funnel, all right, buy my software. So now he has hundreds of thousands of people doing it. Same thing right now. We're watching Alex Hormozy do it, right?
Exactly.
Alex Hormozy is saying, man, build community. Let me teach you how to build community. And
on what platform?
School.
Yes.
Owns the school. So Kyla Brown, right, at the young age of 26 has figured out. So this is a $1 billion play.
This is a $1 billion play.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a $1 billion play. What's the Kyla Brown story though, right? Because again, like, you are very, very wise for your age. I know that I would assume that it comes with blowback, right? Being a woman, being young. But what's the Kyla Brown story? Did you grow up 2-parent home? Did y'all have money? You know what I'm saying? Were you always rich and now you're just richer? Like, tell me the Kyla Brown story.
I got rich within the last 4 years. Yeah, let's start there. Yeah. So I went from literally zero to $235,000 when I did my first tax season. Okay, so I really didn't have no money because I got fired and I had the unemployment money, but it was like $200 a week, nothing really. So my childhood, I come from a very small town. It's called Louisiana. You probably never heard of it. It has a population of 3,000 people.
My high school had 3,000 people.
Exactly. So it was just like nobody had money. It was a very tough time. Yeah. We all were struggling, but we made the best of it. I had a really fun childhood. We used to run outside.
Are you the only child? Or?
No, I'm an only child now. My sister passed away like 2 years ago. But we used to run outside, no shoes on, playing in the country, rocks hurting our feet.
Definitely sound country.
I'm very country. So we had a great childhood, and we didn't even know we was poor. Like, that's how fun it was. I had my dad around. My mom was always working is what I saw. So that's where I get the mentality from. Like, we were struggling, but she made ends meet. Like, I ain't never really go without. We might not get I never got a pair of Jordans my whole time I was a kid.
Wow.
Never ever. And I always wanted some Jordans. So when I got my first job, I went and bought me some Jordans.
Yeah.
But everything was okay. It built a lot of my character today. That's why I'm so hard on myself now. And so I had my mom, and I had my first child at 15.
Okay.
Yep, while I was still in high school. She wasn't very happy about that, but it turned out okay.
Yeah.
It turned out okay.
Yeah. So you're a teen mom.
I was a teen mom. Then I went to the Army. Then I went to the Army trying to better myself. They came to the school trying to recruit. I'm like, let's do it. You know?
Yeah.
We ain't do it. We ain't do nothing. I got out the Army within 2 months because I could not pass the PT test. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm not going back to this small town.
Yep.
Let's go to Dallas, Texas. So I went to Dallas, Texas with my 2-year-old son at the time. I was 18 years old, and I got into the workforce. Kept getting fired for like 3 years until COVID hit, and then here we got into the stewardship.
Oh wow!
Yep.
Wow! That's a beautiful story. When you think about the level of success that you have now, are you surprised by it? Are you inspired by it? Does it open your mind to now? Like, what has it opened your mind to? Like, are you now looking at $1 billion business? Like, talk a little bit about that whole process.
What's crazy is every time I reach a milestone, it was like something I never thought of. When I was about to reach like $1 million, I ain't really have it as a goal.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was obtainable.
Yeah.
And even like the same with $1 billion, I'm like, that's not one of my goals right now.
Yeah.
It seemed far away.
For sure.
It seemed far-fetched. I'm going to just say that. I would like to have $1 billion, but, matter of fact, we're going to make that a goal.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, you're on the trajectory, though, right? If you think about
10X.
all the people I named, it's like...
Right. You're right.
You're on that trajectory. Like, you actually have the business model to build $1 billion business, for sure.
Woo.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, so like...
Look, that just did something you just said. Yeah.
You made me forget the question.
What's the question? Don't let it marinate. It's all good. Who cares about the question? You visualizing, you marinating what it feels like. Kyla Brown, billionaire. Let that sit. Let that simmer.
That sounds intimidating.
Let it simmer. You don't gotta push through it.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
But the thing is, though, so here's my belief system. I believe that God chooses people. That's it. I don't think that God. I don't think everybody's gonna be a billionaire. I don't think everybody's gonna be a multimillionaire. I think God has just chosen people to lead.
Exactly.
And I think some people, like you said, right, when you think about you spend $50,000 on ads alone, you got a payroll. Think about if you weren't who you were, could you think about all the lives that you support right now? Think about all the people who you've made millionaires,
right.
All the people who've used your software, all the people who are like, you were chosen for this. So,
yes.
So you can't, I mean, it might feel like pressure, but I mean.
Pressure make diamonds. So
absolutely.
It should feel like pressure.
Pressure out of the bust pipes or big diamonds.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? All right. And so I like this, right? So I like this. I like the business model. And so what I like about it though, even is that you're saying that you're not just, so you learned this thing, right? You learned taxes. You said, you know what I mean? You shouldn't be, spending all your time doing taxes. You should get the software, let the software do it. You white label software, you build a brand, but instead of now just only pushing your software, you're saying, nah, come with me. Let me show you how to be your own boss. Yeah. Why is it important for you to not only, because you could just sit back, make all the money yourself. You could just say, hey, you know what? I'm going to put more ads, I'm going to scale this thing. But you're investing in people. You're saying, I want people to become CEO.
Exactly.
Why is that important to you?
Well, it's beyond the money at this point. Like, the money is going to come when you help the people.
Yeah.
That's the thing. One of my mentors always say, love on the people. So that's what I'm currently doing. I know that there's a deficiency in our community where people don't have access to this information, and they even, just like I was thinking that the goals that I currently have was unreachable, they think that right now.
Yeah.
They think that they can't make 100,000. Sounds crazy. 200,000. I get to talk about 5 million.
Yeah.
They don't even want nothing to do with it. They sound like, ain't no way.
Right.
So that's why I really don't like to lead with the money. I want to lead with what you're actually going to be doing, what it's going to look like for you in the next 90 days.
Yeah.
Because that's how fast you make money in this industry. So I'm big on, let's put you in position and help you win. And then I'm going to get mine when you are successful. That's my testimony. I like the success stories.
Yeah, no, I love that, and I mean, we're at a similar place, because God, I think I'm also, I didn't even think, let me not even downplay. I know that I'm one of the chosen ones as well, because when I, my first time making millions of dollars, I immediately started investing it back into my community, and I think about all of the people that were struggling during COVID, who I was literally able to put millions of dollars in their pockets and save their business, save their marriage, save, fill in the blank. And then even now, as I think about, empowering people and amplifying voices, it all kind of comes with what God has told me to do. One of the things though, that because I was successful early on as well, but I was successful in the corporate world, not, what I mean? Like I was a banker, so I was like a VP, but being so young, it was hard to get people to listen to me. Do you get any like blowback from people being a woman, being so young?
I used to, but not anymore because I built authority.
Mm.
Like you have to build authority in your industry. I share a game all the time that works. So now my strategies are undeniable because the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
But I used to, of course, and just being a woman, I haven't had any blowbacks because they like, I don't know what she doing, but I want to do it. And it's male and females want in on this. So fortunately, I haven't had that yet.
That's good. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Talk a little bit about this philosophy, right? Because I know a lot of people in the tax game, and then most tax professionals, they only make money from January to April, and then they struggle the rest of the year trying to figure it out. But you have a system where you teach people how to turn taxes into seasonal income, meaning like it's not just seasonal income. This is a 12-month cash flow. Like talk a little bit about that.
Right. So that's the second part about not reaching your fullest potential in the tax industry. The first part is just solely doing taxes. Okay, you understand that you need to invest in the software and teach other people. But the second part is you need to be teaching other people. So you need to leverage your knowledge and teach other people. We need to be building communities. Like we mentioned school. You need to be building a school community. I make $40,000 a month just off school.
Wow.
So that's what I teach my mentees. I teach them how to go ahead and cultivate a community, because the thing about a community is people are there for you. So you can't just put courses in there and leave them hanging. You got to show up for them. So make sure you're providing value. Make sure you're going live once a week, things like that. Also run ads to that community so you can keep traffic going to the community. So that's what I teach. I also teach how to package digital products. People don't understand that digital products is more than an ebook. You could cut your camera on, get in front of Loom or whatever, and give them a mini course, 20, 30 minutes. People will sit spend some short anyways. Sell that for $297, $397. There's another source of income. And then so communities, the digital products, and then the coaching program. You already know how to do taxes. You want them to be in your software. Ease them in there. Teach them a little bit. Let them like you first. And then you get paid for that, and then they get in your software. So you need to be utilizing the things that you already have to keep your money being, you need to utilize the things you already have to keep your money continuous.
Yeah. No, I love that, and I love that thought process, because that's really the framework that that's important to teach. And I'm glad that you said that, because when you think about like artificial intelligence, why would somebody go to Kyla Brown when they could just chat GPT everything?
ChatGPT don't know about this framework yet, because Google don't even know about this framework yet. Now, if they ask ChatGPT the Kyla Brown method, it might pop up. I don't know. After I finish doing these podcasts, it's probably gonna pop up.
Yeah. And one thing you said that I agree with, right? Because even if ChatGPT can spit out generic information, a lot of times it's like, yo, you need a person. Like, you want to connect with a person. Like, I know for me, like, I'm one of the top, I'm probably the top person in the self-publishing game. And people be like, yo, I went to ChatGPT and wrote my book. I'd be like, I know. I can tell. I can read your book and I can tell you use ChatGPT, right? But there's a special sauce. There's things that only my brain could look at and be like, nah, I don't like that, or nah, that's not gonna work. ChatGPT at the end of the day, or AI, even if you use a different software, Gemini, Claude, whatever, they're like tools, right?
Exactly. It's a helper.
It's a helper. Like if you dumb, no disrespect, and you don't know the stuff, and you ask a question, you ask a dumb question, you're gonna get a dumb answer.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I'll be, you know what I'm trying to say? Like,
I get it.
you know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, you explained this, but I actually want you to explain it one more time about the service bureau, right?
Yes.
You know,
Oh, you want to choose service bureau?
you got to, because it makes sense. It makes sense. It kind of seems like that's the evolution. Like, why not
Yeah.
create something that could do the work for you? So talk a little bit about that. Like, why, like, why don't most tax preparers like evolve into that space?
I don't even know if they think it's an option. They haven't been exposed to it, and what you're not exposed to, you can't grow to, I guess. But so service bureau, you're not creating the software. The software is already created. You're buying it from a source.
Yep.
And then they just give you the ability to resell it. So literally anybody can do this.
Yeah.
They just don't have the knowledge, and it sounds real scary because it comes with more than just selling the software to be successful. You have to be a person that's able to help people to produce, because if nobody is producing in your software, you're not getting paid. First of all, you got to get people to come into the software. So that comes with building your brand and being an influencer online and just teaching people, then being a great leader. If you're a terrible leader, they're going to leave you. So retention is really big when it comes to software, because they can stay, but then you can have a high churn rate and your business is back down to the ground. So longevity is something you want to make sure you have in your business as well. So it's way more than just going to the company and buying a software.
Yeah. And that's the next thing though, that how do you help people with this, right? How do you get over sort of like the fear of marketing? Because I think most people know, like, yo, you gotta market, you gotta turn on the camera, you gotta promote yourself. But for whatever reason, that's the biggest thing. Like, I'll talk to somebody who's smart, who has great ideas, but they're like, Ash, how do I build a faceless brand? I'm like, why would you want to build a faceless brand? Like, people will actually connect with you. So how do you get people to understand that marketing is important? And how do you get them over that hump that they're afraid to do content?
So how to get over the hump of being afraid of marketing? First thing first, you got to become selfish, okay? You're afraid of what other people thinking about when they see you. So now you're thinking about you when you're supposed to be thinking about how you can help other people. Right? So you got to become, you're being selfish, right?
That's good.
Because if I'm posting a video and I'm caring about what you think, that's not really the main MO about what other people think. You're trying to give people value.
Right.
So that's the first one. Stop caring about what other people think. The second one is just start. Right? I was horrible. I'm country, right? I was self-conscious about that real bad. I was like, people gonna think I'm dumb, this, that, and the third. I cut on that camera, people immediately fell in love. They was like, she knows what you're talking about. And they gonna fall in love with you. Be authentic. Be yourself. The internet is full of people who are different.
Right.
And that's what makes us special. So just get out there and do it. And it's gonna be hard at first. I deleted so many videos. I'm new here.
Right.
It's just like, just do it. That's all I can tell you, is just do it, and practice make perfect. You can write, you can practice in the mirror.
Yeah.
That ain't really right for
Say
me.
it again.
The mirror. Look, you can practice in the mirror. It ain't really right for me. I felt weird, but that's something. Or then they got teleprompters. So come on, y'all, be for real.
And that's the thing, though. I think that people don't realize is, like, it's getting easier and easier and easier, because, like, literally, like you said, they got the teleprompter. They got, like, there's really no excuse whatsoever. The only excuse is, and I love that you said that, is your selfishness.
You're selfish.
You're being selfish. Like, if you care what people think about you because you're on a camera, then you are selfish. Because if you have this information and you can share this information with somebody, but the only thing that's stopping you is what you look like or what you sound like or what, you're being selfish.
I ate with that one.
Yeah. You did, though. You definitely ate. So you helped over 5,000 people launch tax businesses. What separates the ones who become CEOs from the one that who still hustle?
Man, it's the discipline.
Yeah,
it's gonna be the discipline. I have helped a lot of people, but not everybody makes it to where they want to make it to.
Yeah.
And it's just, you gotta do what you say you're gonna do.
Yeah.
They come in this industry thinking it's gonna be peaches and cream, and it's hard. It requires a lot of dedication.
Yeah.
You gotta show up consistently, at least for the first year or two, to get it off the ground. And that's where a lot of people give up. They give up right before they finna get successful. Like, right before you get over the hump, you like, man, this ain't working. I'm not seeing no motion.
Yeah.
and they give up. They don't like delayed gratification. Like, this ain't no overnight thing.
Right.
So that's where a lot of people give up, and then they suck at being leaders too. This is a leadership position.
Yeah.
A lot of people got to do the inner work on themselves. Like, before you can teach somebody else how to be good at customer service or get clients or market, you got to do it yourself first, and they don't.
Yeah, no, I love that. So what's the biggest misconception that most people have about owning a tax software?
It's two. So they think they got to be good at math for one or something technical like that. And then the second one, they think it's going to cost them a lot of money when it's not. I literally pay per return that I do to my software provider. And it's like, what, $26? And I make around $146 per return. So if I had to do the math, you said the margin, it's like, so they're getting 100% of what they invested back, and then they're making money. So that's like 175%.
So you're telling me, right? So most people are afraid to do the software because they think it's going to cost, right? So it's not going to cost them because you're licensing it, right?
Right.
And then and so are there any upfront costs?
Yeah, so they have to pay for the software. It's probably like $500
Okay.
to get it branded, to get their logo on it.
Okay. All right. So $500 to get the to get the software. Now, once they get the software, the company have already set it up, did everything.
Yes.
You put your logo on it. Literally, you said $26 per tax return, but you're charging $140. So that's a good math. That's 175%, meaning that you're making 175% on your money, right? So
That's
like,
crazy.
where does that ever happen?
I don't know. I know it happens in the tax industry.
Yeah.
If you do this business model, not doing taxes, people get confused. They want to say, "Oh, I'm finna get in taxes," and they just start doing taxes.
Yeah.
And they like, "Oh, I only made $20,000." Well, that's because you're not practicing the right business model.
Wow. So if someone wanted to make, let's just say like $500,000, in the tax industry, like in 12 months, what structure would they need to build from day one?
So first thing first, they need to get a mentor. That's the shortcut. That's how I was able to jump from like 235 to 5 million. Actually, we need to update that. It's 8 million this year. We in the middle of tax season right now. So let's talk about it.
Yeah.
But first thing first, go ahead and get a mentor. It's gonna cut your learning curve in half because we understand that time is money.
Yeah.
So all the time you spend bumping your head wasting money, you're wasting money.
Yeah.
So get the mentor. Then we're gonna go ahead and get you in the service bureau model because we want you to go ahead and start selling that software to other people so you can start making money whether you do a tax return or not. While you're doing that, you can be actively learning how to do taxes as you go because taxes is something you can learn hands-on while you're doing it. I see it every day. They learning, they calling me, hey, do this, that, so you can learn why you do it. Then once you finally master your skill, go share that information. Now bring more people in and teach them. And then you're going to make money.
Yeah, not simple.
Now, I'm going to just say this. It's probably going to be a 24-month instead of a 12-month because tax season is only once per year.
Right.
You can't do all of that in one tax season.
Right.
So your first tax season really needs to be your foundation where you really learning. You can sell it on the side if you want to, but you need to learn the skill set.
Yeah, no, I love that. If we're being honest, would you say the tax industry is oversaturated or are people just undisciplined?
People are undisciplined and it's not oversaturated. They're just undereducated. There is people, everybody in the United States got to file their taxes. I seen a post on Facebook. They said if everybody doing taxes, whose taxes y'all gonna file? And I was like, these people crazy. But no, so it's not oversaturated. And you also, if you want to say it is, create your own lane. My lane not oversaturated at all. It's only probably like 2 or 3 of us that's really killing it in this business model. So this is the business model where you want to get it to create separation.
Yeah, for sure. What do you say to like, I think every time when I turn on, like people are selling like, you could do a 6-figure tax business, like, like selling these dreams. What part of that message is incomplete or misleading?
So they always say they say 100K in 3 months. That's what they say. And honestly, I've seen it done because I did it myself. But you have to be the type of person that's going to be able to make that type of money. Not everybody is already an entrepreneur mindset. They getting these people from 9 to 5, telling them they finna make 100,000 in 3 months. They don't even know nobody taxes to do yet. So who are you talking to?
Yeah.
So I think the messaging is right. You just gotta talk to the right people because you telling everybody that they can make it, in which I've seen it done, but it's a very slim chance.
Yeah. That makes sense. So like really,
So
it's the right type of person.
yeah, it gotta take the right type of person to do it. I have seen it done with my own eyes. People come in my company making $100,000 in 3 months.
Yeah.
What's the percentage of that? 5-6%?
Yeah. So you got to become the person.
But I feel like the messaging isn't bad because it's possible.
Right.
It's not false advertising. If they come in and do the work and become the person that's a hustler and can build this thing up, it can be done.
Yeah. No, I love that. For someone who's watching this right now, who wants to start a tax business this year, what are the first 3 moves that they need to make within the next 30 days?
Cool beans. First 3 moves you need to make if you want to become a tax professional in the next 30 days. First thing first, you need to get your PTIN. That's on the IRS website. It's actually rpr.irs.gov. That'll take you right to the PTIN application. And that's your prepared tax identification number. This takes around 15 minutes to get, all right? Once you have that, you can file taxes legally. You also need to get somewhere to file taxes at. So you need to find you some tax software. And then you need to find you some tax education classes to learn. They got free tax education classes online. You can go to cpecredits.com. There's so many. The IRS even hosts classes. So the IRS wants you to be great. So those are really the first 3 things. I'll just add a 4th one. Go ahead and get your branding in order. Create a brand for yourself so you can go ahead and start building that and creating that, that leverage online. People need to start knowing you early. It take a person like 7 times for they even to see you before they buy something from you. So I would consider doing that, and that's it. In the next 30 days. Now we can talk about 60 and 90, but
No, I love it. What's one mistake that cost new tax entrepreneurs tens of thousands of dollars without them even realizing it?
You can get fined from the IRS if you do not properly do your due diligence.
Okay.
And that's what I see happening a lot now with brand new tax professionals. They are excited to get this money. So the hype is there. They doing all of the things, but they're not taking proper precautions when it comes to actually making sure the client has the right documents for those credits that they put on the tax returns. Now, the violation fees is $635 per violation on a tax return. So there can be like 5 or 6 violations. So you done lost everything that you made on the tax return, plus you still got to pay fees. So that could destroy your business faster than anything.
Wow.
So it's important that you're just collecting all of the proper documentation and proving everything that you put on that tax return.
Yep. No, I love that. What systems do you personally use to scale? So let's talk about your team structure, automation, marketing. Talk about all that, because I know there's young people right now who are like, yo, I want to make a million before 30, So give us the blueprint.
Yeah, so I own my CRM as well. I'm big on SaaS.
Wow.
So I own a CRM. I also resell that to other people, but that's a huge part of my business. And if you don't know what a CRM is, it's a customer relationship manager. That's the heartbeat. So that's where my business start. We can go through the process of that. So I'm going to post some bomb content on social media telling them why they should be building a tax software company. I'm going to tell them to come in the word, whatever. They come at the word, I send them a link to a free guide, free template, some type of lead magnet, right? They get in it. Once they get the lead magnet, they're going to be transferred into the CRM. Now they in my ecosystem. Now we are nurturing that lead until that lead turn into one of our mentees or a client, an ebook or something like that. So that's our marketing system. Consistently running ads all day until my ad account gets disabled. That's a sad day. But yeah, so we always running ads. And then we can go into systems is heavy. Let's talk about employees. A lot of people want to hire VAs and employees, but they bring the employees on and don't know a task to give them. That's why you need to have something in your business called SOPs, standard operating procedures. There needs to be a rule or a direction or instruction for every single task that's done in your business, so that when you bring on this extra help, you ain't got to be scratching your head guessing. You give them this manual and they know exactly what to do. So that's how I hire my team, and then I hire my assistants off onlinejobs.ph. A lot of people sleep on it. Like, that's cliche, but I get my people from over there. Then I pay them a decent little salary, and that's that. We talked about the internal onboarding and fulfillment. The VA people do that, and it is automated by the CRM. Marketing, the ads team do that. payroll, my assistant do that. And then that's pretty much it. And I train, so I show up and train.
Right. And I love that motto, like it's a well-oiled machine, because like you said, you go up there, you train, you teach, and then what that does, like if we're talking top of the funnel, that's bringing in all these different people, and then once they are bought in, you funnel them down to where they need to go,
Yes.
whether they, buying the software, whether they're buying the ebook, whether they're,
Getting in the community.
staying in the community. Yeah. And I love the model, because what that allows you to do is you focus on the one thing, and then based on focusing on the one thing, that's what
And that's how we scale,
Yeah.
because everybody is doing their job. The marketing people is doing their job. They making sure we get new leads all the time.
Yeah.
I'm doing my job. I'm fulfilling and making sure the people are good and producing.
Yeah.
The CRM manager making sure their part is ready. Everybody getting paid. It just works.
Yeah.
So if y'all wanted my blueprint, there you go.
Nah, I love it. I love it. If somebody right now that's watching, right, man, they only got $2,000 to their name, right? That's all they could invest. Where would you say they should allocate the money to build a real tax business?
$2,000.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and get one of my lower tier packages. I got like small packages for $9.97.
Yep.
Where I teach them, and then that comes with the software, so they ain't gotta worry about branding the software. It's not gonna have their brand on it; it'll have my brand on it. But they still can prepare tax, and they still can bring on a team, so they can earn additional income.
Got it. Yeah.
And they can start there.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. You say that your mission is to turn tax preparers into CEOs. What does CEO really mean in your world? Like what does that mean to you?
It means exactly what it is. A CEO. CEOs are not doing taxes. Let's think about TurboTax. Do you think the CEO of TurboTax is doing taxes, or are they even coming to meetings? They might. Do they even know what's going on? Like, let's get you out of the business, because this is how I look at things. Let's think about a coach. If the coach was playing in the field with the players, they wouldn't know what's going on.
Right.
So you got to find a way to get outside of the business so that you can properly lead the business to scale.
Right.
So you got to be CEO. You probably got to sit at the head of the boardroom table and put together the missions and the strategies, but you're not playing in the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're going to be real CEOs.
I love that. I'm telling you, you like wise beyond your years. Did you go to school? Is this?
Yeah.
Okay. Where'd you go to school?
So I went to school. I went to University of Louisiana. It was online for psychology, and I dropped out my senior year because I made that $235,000.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yep, I'm not doing this." Then I had found out that I couldn't use my psychology degree unless I went and got like a doctorate or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, I hate this 4 years. I'm not doing 6 more.
Yeah. Why psychology?
I just wanted to understand people, and I feel like that's why I've been able to just get so far in my entrepreneurship journey too. But I just wanted to understand why people do what they do as humans.
Right.
And I loved it.
Right. No, I love it. If you could go back to year one, what lesson would you have accelerated your success by year two?
Yeah, so it's back to leadership for me. So when I first year one, I was building that team, and I thought they was my friends. I was telling them my business. We was just chatting it up and talking, and I didn't have any boundaries in place. I quickly learned that year too. But it was like a hard learn. Like I learned that the hard way. A person came in and took like half of my team.
Wow.
Yes, and took them to her team, and then she ended up doing fraud, and it's a whole situation with that. It didn't turn. They came back to my team in the story. But have boundaries.
Always greener on the other side.
Yeah, it was a full circle moment for them.
Yeah.
But just have boundaries and just know
you didn't feel like I told you, like
I did, but I didn't show that because I was learning to be a leader.
Yeah.
I was like, it's okay, you can come back. Yeah. But it's just like
though, you didn't
I was talking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was talking about y'all. But it's just like have boundaries in place. They not your friends. Of course, over time you can build that friendship, but at first just focus on the mission.
Yeah.
So that's what I should have been doing.
Yeah. 26, 10 years from now, 36 years old, what would you want, when people think about Kyla Brown, Like, what was that? What would they be? What would they be saying? What does that vision look?
They gonna say I came, I saw, and I conquered. No, I'm just playing. They gonna say I made an impact, like,
Yeah.
cause that's what I want to do. I want to make an impact beyond measures. Honestly, I want to help as many people as I can start these businesses. It can be outside of Texas. Honestly, any business that you got online, I can help you scale it.
Yeah.
And just be entrepreneurs. Like, I don't care for them to be working no job. Every time they tell me that, I cringe. I understand somebody got to do it,
Right.
but it don't need to be none of my people that I care about.
Yeah, right.
But that's it. Just making an impact.
If you had a message, right, for young Kyla, 15-year-old mother, 18, you're 18 years old, and you could talk to her. You could talk to 18-year-old Kyla. What would you be telling her?
Oh, I'd be like, girl, chill out. For one, you doing too much. Your time is coming. So, be careful how you moving now. Be careful with the people you keep around you. Not all company is good company. Be wise. I pretty much did good as a kid though. So it's not much I would change.
Yeah.
Other than you gonna be surprised.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. I don't have nothing crazy to say.
Yeah. What are you what are you like? What are you teaching your son? Like, are you telling your son, go to school, get a good job? Like, what's that message for him? Because it was the 11 now.
My son is 11. My son is finna be an entrepreneur. He say he want to start a dog walking business, and it's gonna be called Tailblazers. I said, that's fire. You are so creative. He creative just like his mom, like Tailblaze, like Trailblaze.
Right.
But so he wanna start a dog walking business, and I'm like, yeah, not at 11, because what if they bite you or something? But my mind was so blown away when he said that. Like, he's big on getting a coin. He wants some money.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, he took a lot of traits from me, and I'm really proud about that. He don't say nothing about college, and I don't make him.
Right.
Because as long as you go get some money, you hustle and you do what you need to do. Because really, I want him to take over my business.
Yeah.
But what do I teach him? Just to do right by people. Don't talk about people. I don't play that bullying stuff. Don't bully nobody.
Yeah.
Everybody is the same,
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. And stand up for yourself.
Yeah. Talk about mentorship real quick, because I know that, I know personally I wouldn't be where I am if it wasn't for the mentors in my life. I know you've invested, hundreds of thousands of dollars in mentorship. Talk a little bit about the importance of having mentors, but the right mentors.
It's always important because you should always be learning.
Yeah.
I don't care what it is. Know how old you are. You still learning, right?
Absolutely.
You should always be learning. So it's always going to be important to invest into yourself some type of way.
Yeah.
I feel like a mentor is the cheat code that really helped me.
1,000%.
And then I just came in so ambitious. I was like a sponge, and I just soaked everything up. I have paid that year alone. I know I paid over 200 and some thousand. I don't even know, 200 some thousand in mentorships.
Yeah.
But it has grew me. It's gonna stretch you. It's gonna pull you out of your comfort zone. It's gonna have you doing things that you never thought you would be doing. But now that you got a support system with you, you like, okay, I'm okay with doing it. Let's do it.
Right.
At least that's how I make my mentorships. I'm like, I'm gonna push you out. None of them want to do content, and I make them do content.
Right.
So mentorship is important. People they walk so we can run.
Yep. Facts.
Mentorship is a bad effort.
And then I think the other piece of it is that it's not just your mentor that you learn from. You also in a room with like-minded people, because the biggest thing I hear all the time is, well, I don't come from the type of family. My friends aren't this, blah, blah. But when you pay to get into mentorships, you're now around other like-minded people that also pay, so you could kind of build from that as well.
I do agree. I feel like if I wasn't in certain rooms, I wouldn't be here today.
Yeah.
Mentorships in the circles and the networks that I've in rubbed off on me a lot. I've always been like the youngest in the room.
Yeah.
And it's always people that's like wiser than me doing big things. And they'll always like scoop me under their wing, give me a little gem here and there. I'm proud of you. Some of us don't get it. I'm proud of you.
Facts, yeah.
Like, so that means something, like, when, okay, something's finally working. Because it's people out here that they feel like nothing they ever do work. Like, everything is against them. So to just get around people that genuinely care, even though some of them might not, but to get around people that genuinely care and push you and want to see you win is a plus.
Yeah. No, I love it. So talk about now your program, right? So You have, like you said, you have courses, you have programs, you have challenges.
Yeah.
Somebody want to learn from you, like, give us a little bit about some of that stuff.
Yeah, of course. I have a lot of, every time you click my bio, it don't matter when they watch this, they're gonna click my bio and there's gonna be something in there for them to get in.
Yeah.
So I'm currently having a 3-day challenge. It's called Beyond the Refund. Where I'm teaching them to go beyond the refund because they think they only got to do taxes, and no, you're gonna go beyond the refund. So I'm teaching them how to build coaching programs, build communities, build digital products, all of the digital products, and how to sell them, on the funnel, the ascension ladder, so the freebie, the low ticket, the mid ticket, the high ticket, all of those things that they have no idea about, upsell, downsell, bridge sales.
Yep.
Like all of the technical things, they'll learn that in my mentorship, the systems that's going to bring the people from social media to your website. It's just confidence. Leadership is something they also get because that's big and a lot of people don't have that.
Yeah.
And that's ultimately why a lot of people don't fail. Confidence is like the main
I think it's
factor.
the biggest thing. Yeah.
It is the biggest thing. Like, you better think you the biggest.
Right, exactly.
If you don't believe in what you're saying, nobody else is.
Exactly, yeah.
So that's something I instill heavily in my mentorship programs. But yeah, I'm having this free 3-day. I got the software for sale as well. Like they can come in and start them a service bureau if they want to, and I help them do that. So I got a lot of programs.
Yeah, no, I love it. And yeah, I love this. I love your business model. I think, again, I think it's $1 billion business model. Like the one, if I were to unpack this interview, is really about, stop working hard for money, make your money work hard for you. And you do that by investing in the right software, the right people, and the right processes, right? If you have the right process, then you're just going to keep making money over and over and over again.
Right.
If you had $0 to your name right now, what would be your first step? What would you start with?
Do I got good credit?
Yeah.
I don't got good credit either.
Right. So no money,
nothing.
No money, no credit.
All right.
What's
so if I had $0, the first thing I would do is go to the library and get a free book. First of all, I need to learn some type of way. So we need to start learning, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It's also a book called I Will Help You Get Rich. Those 2 books have money strategies in it. The Psychology of Money as well. Read those books. But how I'm going to get the money? I ain't good at this.
Yeah.
I'm got to get a job, right?
No. You got $0.
Yeah. Okay, so let's learn. I'm big on learning, so let's learn. I guess I'm going to have to give me a little job to make some investment money.
Or maybe turn on your camera. Right?
But that's going to cost. Oh, it's free to post, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm thinking about ads. I go too far.
Look.
I'm like, but that's still going to cost.
You got the millions in your brain.
All right. So, yeah, you taking me way back.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So, yeah, cool. I done learned the information.
Yeah.
Now, let's go deliver the information online. Cool. Bam. You learned the skill set from the library.
Right.
I'm finna deliver this online, and I want to host a masterclass and charge for it.
Yeah.
And we're going to scale from there.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Yeah. No,
you know what? I think that's what y'all be doing. Y'all be broken, but they don't be having the information, and then they be having the masterclass.
No, but I honestly think that that's what people don't realize. So a couple of things. I think people don't realize that the best way to make money online is to teach something you really know.
Exactly, but keyword, really know.
Really know. And I think that's the biggest issue. I think the biggest issue is that there's a lot of people who don't have money and they are in desperation. And because they're in desperation, they're not thinking straight. And so they turn on the camera and they try to get money by any means. And they muddy up this online education space because now when they burn people, right, by accepting somebody's money, and they're not delivering what they say they could deliver, now that person and everybody else they talk to is going to say, oh, do not trust the online world because they scammers, they're not going to do stuff, blah, blah, blah. What people don't understand is that Ash Cash has a certain voice. Kyla has a certain voice. Shot has a certain voice. Dion, right? We all have our own voices. And so because we have our own voices, I'm never, ever, ever in competition with no one else. Never. I don't care if it look like we do the same thing. I'm never in competition because I understand that there's people that are going to gravitate to me that are not going to gravitate to Kyla and vice versa. And so if you ain't got no money, learn a real skill. Learn a real skill. And then now once you know that skill, just deliver what you learned in the way that you deliver it, and people will lock in.
I also feel like I can't compete with nothing that God made. God
Ooh.
made all of us. So
That's good.
anybody can take a turn for the better at any time
That's a good
and wipe us all out. So we never know what anybody got going on. So I'm not competing with nobody that God made. We all great.
The way you ate on that one.
Again.
Again, right? Look, I'm not competing with anything that God made.
Exactly.
Oh, that's a different perspective though, right? Because normally when I look at it, I'm looking at it from my perspective, like, yo, I'm not competing against anybody because I'm different, but you,
we all different.
We got, I got that. Is there anything that you wanted me to ask you that I ain't ask you? Like you're like, damn, Ash, you should have said this.
No, honestly, I'm gonna just leave y'all with this. Like I said, I just want to impact as many men as women as possible, and I'm rooting for everybody.
Yes.
Don't give up on your dreams. If you want to make $1 million, go make that fucking $1 million.
Yeah.
Go do it. Go put system in place. This is the easiest time to make a lot of money, especially online.
Yeah.
Like, go learn the skill set and share the skill set with other people, and you will forever be rich.
Yeah.
That's what everybody doing.
And one thing I also say though, delete every piece of skepticism that you have in your brain.
Yes.
Because I think, we all know, right? Scam means still confused about money. And if you don't delete every skepticism that you have, like I'm not saying fall for any okadoke, right? So I'm not saying like if somebody say, yo, send me $1,000 and I'll send you back 10,000. All right, that's obviously a scam, right?
Right.
But I'm saying like take the free classes, consume the information. And if just because you never heard of something or it never worked for you doesn't mean the person saying it is not telling you the truth, because the truth of the matter is that if you knew it, you would be doing it anyway.
Right.
So sometimes it's easier. Like my brother Pushman Mitch once said, make sure you come with an empty cup, right? Because a lot of times people come with the bottle already full, and then now they try to pour more water into it, and now all the knowledge is overflowing.
It's not going in.
You know what I'm saying? But what you need to do, and this is abundance water brought to you by yours truly, but no, what you need to do, come with an empty cup, so now when you are pouring the water into it, it's retaining.
Exactly.
I enjoyed this conversation, Miss Kyla Brown.
Blast.
This was good. If people wanted to follow you, if they wanted to connect with you, where can they find you?
Yeah, sure. So my Instagram is wealthyk_. I'm Kyla Brown on Facebook. Like I said once before, if you want to tap into anything that I'm doing, all of my links are always in my bio.
All right, y'all. We are closing out the vault. Another awesome episode of Inside the Vault with Ash Cash, the greatest money mindset show on the planet. Make sure you visit us at all social media platforms at Inside the Vault. Go to our website, InsideTheVaultShow.com. I am Ash Cash. Make sure you visit me, IamAshCash.com. Follow me on all social media platforms at IamAshCash. I will see you next time, same place, in God's will. Peace.